What's going on, guys? Back with a brand new video, and it's Slay Slater here, 87. Sorry, guys, that I changed my YouTube channel. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a new video of making a 3-ingredient cake. All you need is a bowl, a very clean bowl. I would recommend Smarties or M&Ms. M&Ms with no, physically M&Ms with no nuts. You have cake mix, and you guys will need eggs for this. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to have to take out everything in the oven before we start. Put everything on top of the oven because you're going to be baking stuff, as you guys can tell. And so what we're going to do here, guys, after once we've taken all the stuff out, we need to preheat our oven to bake this stuff for a cool idea. So we have everything out of our oven. So now we want to before I even preheat it, I will do this really quickly, guys. I'll bring you guys over here. Sorry about the thing. So I'm actually going to turn the light on here. Very, very interesting. Actually, I'm going to turn this off. So what we're going to do, we don't really want that. We need bake. And then for that, we need to, let's see, put it for at least maybe, so what you want to preheat the oven to is around like 215, 210, I guess, or either or. So let's preheat the oven to 210. And you put start, so 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what we're going to be doing. So now I'm going to bring you guys over here. I will flip you guys around. Hold on. Oh, I guess I can't flip you guys around. So this is the clean bowl that you need stuff. You have your baking, just trying to make sure that I can actually, I don't know how to flip you guys around, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can do this with one hand. So I'm good. So get some Smarties as well as your cake mix stuff. So what you want to do is you'll want to rip a bag of Smarties or whatever you have in there, and yet if it's still not opening, that's all right. Figure it out. So you have your Smarties, and I'll bring you guys right over here. Sorry guys if that was a little loud. So you have your Smarties in there now, or you can do even both. And what you're going to want to do is, for this, make sure you have a pan, a big pan for the cake. And I'll be right here. Just give me a moment. Why that's being so freaking hard. I don't know why that was so difficult, guys. So if you guys are new to this channel and you guys haven't seen my channel before, please leave a like if you guys want more stuff like this as baking advertisements and stuff, or if you guys want to have more similar objects like this. And smash that subscribe, guys. We're almost at 70 subscribers. Please smash that like, subscribe, hit that notification for more content and stuff. And let's get this process going. But always make sure that you have a right size pan depending on how much you're clearly making. Let's go over to a smaller pan, I guess. Jeez. I guess this is the only one that I have for now, guys. So, got that. So what we're gonna do with our bowl of M&Ms, oh, sorry. What we're gonna do with our bowl of M&Ms, or Smarties, I should actually say. M&M, Smarties, doesn't matter which one you're using. So once your oven is heated up, I guess. But first, let's put some parchment paper down in there. Let's see if we can find it. Parchment paper is not in this cupboard. Let's go over here. So what we'll want to do is we'll want to, I guess, make sure that it's wide. Sorry, if it's wide enough for it, but you don't want it too wide. Something that you can. Does this have any teeth on it? Oh, it does too. Okay. So we have the parchment paper. Now I think we're gonna actually hold it like this. Like this. If it's too big or too round, we'll be using scissors. Let me actually do it back here. So what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna place the pan actually on the parchment paper stuff. So this is just a 3-ingredient cake. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have a marker or a pen or whatever. Always make sure you guys actually try the pen first. Okay, so the oven's been heated to 210. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually mark this around. Okay, well, if that doesn't work, guys, we'll end up using a different pen. I don't know how that did not work. This is a hard counter. Make sure, like, if you guys want to do it precisely, I would recommend you, all of these freaking things are so bad. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so make sure you guys have all the marking around the plates or the pie for the so if you guys need to do that, I'd suggest you make sure that you have the line as dark as possible so you guys can see what's in there. Where this thing is. and stuff. So once all this stuff's done, what you're gonna want to do is use the scissors and just go around the circle very carefully to make sure it's perfectly round, not lopsided. Always make sure whatever you're putting your ingredients into, it is either clean, not filthy, so you are able to have that attention. That way it's a little bit more of a drag. So we need to cut it, so make sure it's round. So when you ever have that down, place it in this pan shape that you have. It may be sorry guys. Yeah, so make sure you have a perfect circle out of this. As soon as you finish drawing the circle around the pan out, just make sure you get the right size pan. You can always use scissors for that. So now what we're going to do is we are going to end up, here, let me turn this. Let me pull this back up a little bit. Let me back this up a little bit. So what you guys are going to want to do is, let's get this out of the way for a second. So we have the Smarties as usual. And then what we're going to do is, this may not be a big thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to want to tap it a little bit. And then put the raw egg in there. But just make sure you guys don't really have eggshells in there. Double check just in case, because you guys do not want eggs in there of eggshells. So it's just easier like that. Okay, so that's good. Once that's done, guys, put this in like this. Put that in. So now what we're going to do is close this up. Let's get this out of the way. So now, anytime if you're going to whisk something, I would recommend you guys using a fork. So you guys have quite a stuff, and just stir the chocolate in there. It's going to get a little loud. Sorry guys. Until you see the eggs start to turn a little bit brown like this, that's natural. This is, yeah, maybe disgusting, but it's taking the color out of the M&Ms, aka or Smarties, doesn't matter what you're doing or using it for. So now what we're going to do is, once it's like a brownish color, let's tear this thing open like this. Get your cake mix out, depending on how much you're going to be using. You don't really need to do this, depending on if you like yours quite a bit of a delicious person who likes a lot or a little. But I would just suggest you just, snip it off, and then put a little bit of the chocolate in there. And I'm saying that you guys can actually use, doesn't really matter what, so it doesn't really matter what kind of cake mix you're using. And then you just stir this up like this. So it doesn't have to be all fully exactly for the the Smarties to be exact color. So scrape this off until you see a little bit of that cakey mix like that, end up forming. That's shows that you got a good sign. If it still looks a little too watery, put a little more in, and then you can always get like this cake mix like this, so it's like more of a cake batter kind of thing. So if you want to make a really big batch of this stuff, I would recommend you getting maybe 3 boxes or packages of Smarties wherever you guys are, and whatever like that. So when you start turning it, it shouldn't really look too watery now after you start turning it like that. So once that's all good, yeah, so it should be looking like this. Yes, it may look disgusting at first, but when you actually make it, it's really, really satisfying. But so now, instead of using a non-stick pan, or if you guys have a non-stick pan, that's good too. So just make sure you pour it all in. Make sure it gets to the sides as well. And then after, you can spread this thing out. So make sure you have all the stuff here, and get all that cake deliciousness out of here. It's just very easy in order for you to do that. If it don't get all the way to the edges, that's okay. I just make sure it's all the way to the edge, so you can actually get it all baked nice and even. So whatever you guys want to do with this, feel free to like eat it and stuff with a spoon or whatever. So I'm gonna bring you over here a little bit, guys. Sorry, just want to do this, bring you guys over here a little bit once I move some of this stuff out of the way. So yeah, I'm just gonna place you guys over here. So once you guys have your oven all preset stuff, what you want to do is you want to come over here, put that in there. I would recommend you guys set a timer for like 5 to 10 minutes. So if you guys would do that, I'll put 5 minutes. Then you just push start timer, leave it. If it's not really exactly the way it's supposed to be, so what we're going to actually do for this is use actually a skewer. So if you guys don't have any big skewers or small skewers, go to the store and get some for yourself. And then right now I'm going to be using one of these shish kebab skewers, because those things work very, very well. So other than that, we'll wait 5 minutes or so, get everything all good. And what's going to happen is, waiting is kind of a little bit of a boring time. So once everything's out of the oven and you guys are ready to put it in, make sure you guys put it in for 5 minutes or so. If it's so, what the skewer is going to be doing is it's clearly going to be putting. So it doesn't really matter which side you poke into the cake. So as long as you guys see that there's nothing stuck onto the skewer, then you know it's really fresh. I'm gonna be putting this over here really quickly. So another thing is, guys, instead of using the same skewer right here, instead of using the same tip, swap it around, or if that's still not working and you cut it in half, that's okay too. But I would recommend you guys end up splitting in half using the tip there. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually find a cooling rack. And if anybody does not know what a cooling rack is, a cooling rack is something to let your baking or muffins or whatever you're cooking with, or baking, doesn't really matter what it is. So this is called a cooling rack. And then when you place it down here, it's not on any stove top, it's not on anything, it's right where it's supposed to be. Then you put that stuff there. And the number one safety for using stuff in, sorry guys, the number one stuff for actually having it safe indeed for your hands, or safe for your hands. If you guys have any oven mitts, use them. Let's see if we got any oven mitts anywhere. Right here. So we got oven mitts right here. These are oven mitts if anybody doesn't really know, but if you're thinking to yourself, Slater, why are you even asking people this when they already know? Well, because if people are new to baking or anything, that's clearly the reason why I'm doing that. So eventually, once you're done, and while you're waiting, put the skewer on your cooling rack. Whatever you do is you can either eat this nice delicious stuff. You may get a little bit messy, but that's okay. But if you really don't want to really get any utensils dirty, might as well just use a plastic spoon, scrape all this chocolate down so you can have good, nice tasting chocolatiness from the bowl. And then you could easily make like syrup with it too, like chocolate syrup for cakes or strawberries, because that's the thickness that you really want until it's drippy and stuff. It's not too bad. You really can taste the, you can usually taste the Smarties out of that. But it's gonna be really good when you guys try this. But I wouldn't recommend using any nuts for this. But if you're gonna do this for like a bigger mixture of cake batter like this, just for the sake of it, if you're having like a party or a small get together, I would recommend you using a little bit more. Right now we still have, yes, 4 minutes left on the timer. Yeah, so okay, so I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is happening there. Okay, so the timer's still on. I don't know. Okay, so it's remoted. Okay, anyways. So let me do this for timer off. that's taking a long time. So, so I guess that's around like, I guess 3 minutes already. Echo, set a 3-minute timer.
3 minutes, starting now.
So as you'll see, if your timer is really slow, you really gotta be very careful that you don't end up burning it. So let's check out the stuff. You can always watch that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here, but make sure you grab the oven mitt just in case. See how that's doing. Okay. So just remember to make sure you actually close that out after. But yeah, it's so once the 3-minute timer is up, I guess. Actually no, it's still 4 minutes. My bad. Echo. Stop timer.
3-minute timer canceled.
Echo. Set a timer for 4 minutes and
4 minutes, starting now.
okay. So I guess that's the way it is. But yeah, sorry guys, I'm just trying to see what's happening outside. But anyways, whether you guys are enjoying this or if you're gonna want to watch this towards the end, or if you guys are making it towards the end of this video, closer to the time, I'll show you guys what happens when it's cleared out and stuff. So I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out, then you can reprocess that for yourself. It's a really good idea. Make sure you keep an eye on it. Let's check. So if you guys do have a light on your oven or a stove, my recommendation would be maybe click on the light on your kitchen oven, as you guys can tell. But make sure and like keep checking on it once in a while for certain reasons, because if you guys don't check on it, like I will show you right here right now. So if you go to light, or let's turn that on, you guys can fairly see a little bit of it. Or let me just stop and pop this open. But yeah, so it's, I guess it's getting there a little bit. So yeah, if that doesn't work, or sorry guys, here, let me do something really quickly here. Yeah, so if you guys don't really realize that it's taking forever to load in for that specific type of baking, I would recommend you for that kind of time, maybe put it in for maybe like half the 5 minutes, I guess, 10 minutes. Once it hits 5 minutes on the timer, I would recommend you take a look, quick gander, you know, just usual stuff. And once that's getting closer to being ready with the skewer that you poke into, as you guys can tell, you can do this. But yeah, but I will definitely, hopefully I can add 2 parts to this video. So I'll do a first part, and then I will see you guys all in the second half of this video. But yeah, I'm gonna do an aftermath of how much what it looks like when it's all done. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes.